My name is AB Ridgway. I'm the owner of AB Ridgway Wealth Management and the host of the Ridgway Report. Today, we are going to talk about how much money do you need to invest? And I think this is a very crucial question for a lot of people who are just recently retired. People don't want to run out of money. They say, Mr. Ridgway, I have an issue. I need to withdraw a certain amount of money for a vacation or a car payment or to replace a paycheck, or maybe their family member lost a job. How much money can I take and invest today and take out every 6 months, every year, or every month? Those are the questions that people approach me with, and they don't really know where to start. They know where they want to go. They just don't really know how to get there, and they really don't know how to get there while they're investing. Today, we're going to go over some pros and cons of running this math. We're going to go over a little simple problem that these people may encounter that we're going to solve for them. We're going to be using my handy dandy financial calculator, which every financial advisor should have one. It's gotten me through a lot of tough times. We're going to go over some pros and cons and how this can apply to your life. If this is you, this is your situation, and you need some help, you can always click the link below. You can schedule a consultation with me. We'll run over some of your numbers and see if it's a good fit for you to have a financial advisor to answer this question and many more questions that are soon to come. So let's assume that I want to deposit a certain amount of money. I just retired. I said, hey, I have X amount of dollars. I need it to last for the next, let's say, 6 years. Okay. I need to withdraw $1,400 semi-annually. So that's every 6 months. At the beginning, I need to withdraw $1,400. Maybe I want to take a trip. Maybe I want to enjoy my retirement here a little bit for a hobby. And let's assume that I'm making 8%. And the reason we're going to say assume, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, is because a lot of your returns in the market are going to be assumptions. It's going to be based off past performance, but it does not guarantee future success. The ultimate question is, how much do you need to invest today? So how much money do you need to take from retirement or from a savings account and invest in order to make it? And now this is going to be a very crucial question because a lot of people don't want to be oversold. They have X amount of dollars. Their advisor says, hey, you have $50,000 or $100,000 not doing anything in your account. Let's invest it. But it's like, why? Why can't I have that money? Some people are emotionally anchored to that money. So having $50,000 or $100,000 in my savings makes me feel like I have financial freedom. So why are you taking that away from me? So the first thing that we're going to do, bring up my whiteboard here. So I'm Mr. Ridgway, and I need, for the next 6 years, which is represented by N. So if you look at the calculator here, we have the time value of money calculations at the top row here. I'm not trying to turn you into a financial advisor, but I'm just letting you know that there is a calculation for the time value of money where we determine what money will do under certain circumstances, which is really good. It's like, well, if I invest at 7%, how much am I expected to make? And we can run those calculations. And we know that it's going to be 6 years. So the period is going to be 6 times 2. Why? Because there's 2 periods in that year. So annually it's going to be 6, but it's every 6 months. So that happens twice a year. So let's go 12. Okay. Then also we have the payment amount, PMT, and I want $1,400. The interest rate that we're going to assume I'm going to receive is going to be 8%, but because the 8% is annual and it's going to be biannual, we're going to divide that by 2, so we end up with 4. And then the future value is going to be 0, right? Because we're going to withdraw the money to 0. We don't need any extra money. That's not what this accounts for. This accounts to pay for what I need to get paid for and be done with it. We don't want to take any more risk or sacrifice any more money than we really have to, okay? And what we're going to try to figure out is the present value. Now, how do we do this? Very simple. We punch it into the calculator. Okay, so we're going to take 12. 12 is the period. We're going to put 4 as the interest rate. We're going to put the payment at $1,400, future value at 0. Now, what's very crucial is that it's showing 0 right now, but very crucial is that the time period. Are you going to take these withdrawals at the beginning or the end? So if you look at my calculator, I'm going to try to put it up there as best as possible. You see a little BEG? That means at the beginning of the withdrawal cycle. So at the beginning, it's going to be $1,400. If you put it at the end, it's going to change that calculation. Now, If you need it at the end of the year or at the end of a period, then that's fine. We're going to put it at the end. Then we solve for P, the present value. And this is what we get. We get $13,664.66. So what that means is that for you to take out $1,400 every 6 months for the next 6 years, assuming an interest rate of 8% on all the money consistently, linearly, you're going to need to put in $13,664.66 today. And that's your answer. Right? So this is how we determine how much we're actually going to invest and how much your client actually needs. Now let's go over to some of the pros of running something like this in retirement. So one of the pros is that it's easy math. We could say, this is how much money that you have, this is how much money that you need, and this is how much is going to last over the next 6 years. The next thing is that we set proper expectations, because a lot of people are assuming, okay, if I invest for 6 years, I need to double, triple, quadruple my money. That may not be the case depending on the interest rate that you obtain. Now, the reason this is important, because if we want to double, triple your money, we have to get the returns necessary to double, triple your money. The more risk that you take, the more rewards you have, but you have to take more risk. The less risk you take is going to be the less reward, meaning that if you're only earning 4%, you're not going to take as much risk as if you're trying to get 15%, but your returns are going to be different as well. Picking investments, once again, if someone comes up to you and says, hey, Mr. Client, I can make you 15%. You go, well, I don't need 15% on this money. All I need is 8% because that's all I need for the vacation. And that's what I do as a financial advisor, just give you just enough risk to get the returns that you need. No more, no less. And I think that's very important, because a lot of people, what they do, they try to maximize their investment to the most that they can ever get. And sometimes that can be an issue. What that means is they're taking more risk. They're risking the fact that maybe next year the market crashes or is there a correction and you lose 20%. And you're like, why did I lose so much money? Because you're taking so much risk when you don't have to, right? And the person who's taking not enough risk runs into the same problem. They can't fund their goals. So what's some of the cons? Some of the cons is that the market is not linear. It's not 8 years, 8 years, 8 years, unless you have some type of fixed product. And most time with a fixed product is lower risk, so you get lower return. So it's going to be hard to find a product that's 8, 9%. These are hypothetical numbers, but I'm saying the higher the number, the higher the risk, meaning that the quality may not be what it needs to be in order for you to feel safe. Yeah, they may guarantee 8%, but it may be a junk bond where they may default and you don't get your money at all, right? The risk is very high. The reward's high. If they come through, they come through. But the risk is sometimes too high for the average investor. Another con is inflation. So inflation is the cost of goods going up. So $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow. So the longer we go out into the future, inflation is going to eat up some of those dollars, and we're not going to be able to buy the things that we think we need to buy. So we may need to adjust either our assumptions, which could be the returns that we need, or the amount of money that we're actually contributing. That's why we need to reevaluate every year. Also, emergencies come up. People break their legs or they get sick or things of that nature. So we need to make sure that we are preparing for emergencies, or that we have money for emergencies so we don't have to touch this money. So if we are going to allocate X amount of dollars into this investment, let's make sure that our mortgage is taken care of, make sure our debt is paid off, or that we can pay those obligations, so we are not taking from this money and then having to, run those numbers over again, hoping to reach our goals. Okay. Now we are going to run those numbers annually because of the market, but we don't want to do that because of withdrawals. Okay. Then last one is just fees. There may be some fees associated with some products. There may be some cancellation fees or something like that, or some capital gains or some taxation. All those contribute to the actual dollar amount in the long run. But once again, you don't have to worry about that. But that is a con. So we're going to keep it short and sweet. So the answer is, I should have put the answer here for everybody here. Sorry. The answer is $13,664.66. So this person needs to invest that amount of money to get the $1,400 over that time period. Okay. Well, that's it for me. So if you're recently retired and you want to accomplish some of those goals, make sure that you click the link in the description, schedule a consultation. We'll talk about your circumstance, and you say, hey, I'm just recently retired. I have this retirement money. I want to replace my paycheck. How long will this money last? How much money can I withdraw annually? We'll run those calculations for you and get you started. My name is A.B. Ridgway. Make sure you subscribe, clicking the link to book a consultation, and I'll see you on the other side of your blessing.